What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with the weekly Destiny 2 content roundup, and this week a lot of players will be busy with the returning Guardian Games event, and so we'll touch on some info to know about that. There's also a small hotfix that comes alongside the event, and additionally we have the vendor and reward refresh for the 2nd of May. And so as always, we'll cover the new vendor loot, such as Banshee's featured weapons, Ada 1's armor and shaders, plus key content changes, bonus ranks, featured activities, and everything else to know rewards wise this reset. And so, as always guys, I hope you enjoyed the video today, and if you do, be sure to get subscribed for more Destiny content, but otherwise, let's get into it. Before we get into the gameplay stuff right here though, we have had a new hotfix for the game today. I'm assuming that this is part of launching Guardian Games for the year, but for the moment Bungie haven't posted any additional patch notes, so it could be the case that we don't get any patch notes as there aren't any specific changes outside of launching the event, but if Bungie do update us with that, I will link them down below. And so starting off today, of course, the Guardian Games event has returned and the tower is looking rather wonderful. The first thing we need to do for the event, of course, is to visit Eva Levante in the tower, and she's going to give us the class item right here. And of course, the event card is also visible on Eva's inventory right here, so we can see all of the challenges. Of course, many of them are hidden, but we've got the option to upgrade the event card if we want to, and all of the rewards as always are listed on the bottom. Plus we can see that the opening quest for Guardian Games right here will actually reward us the new scout rifle upon completion. So be sure to throw your class item on and get completing steps of that quest. I'll be sure to keep you posted on the Guardian Games though, and if you're curious about any of the rewards, I did post a video earlier on breaking down a bunch of the stuff that we'll be able to get access to in the event, so I will link that down below. The only other quick thing to mention right here related to Guardian Games, but Bungie have said that there is a weapon level progression buff active during the event, so if you are working on crafted weapon levels, I believe on activity completion, but also other weapon XP sources, the buff is fairly significant, so if you do want to level up any weapons, definitely be sure to throw them on during the event. Up next though, separate to the Guardian Games, of course Neomuna has also reset, so for the weekly mission, this time we have Desperate Measures, and of course that's a pinnacle drop, plus the Vex Incursion Zone has moved to Liming Harbour over here, and the mission this week is Partition Hard Reset. Then for the featured challenge in the Root of Nightmares, we've got the Crossfire challenge available this week. Over at Banshee though, there are a couple of decent weapons this week. So initially on the front page, we've got Under Your Skin, and this one's got Tunnel Vision and Turnabout. Then we've got the Judgment of Kelgarath. This one's been featured with Incandescent a few times recently. This particular role has Overflow and Incandescent. And then we have the Legal Action 2 with Moving Target and Frenzy, as well as the 7th Seraph sidearm right here, and this one has Threat Detector and Snapshot Sights. Plus we've got a Tireless Blade, Whirlwind Blade, Falling Guillotine on the front page as well. But, of course, some of these roles will change throughout the course of the week, so be sure to keep checking in with Banshee. On the second page though, for now he's got the Ragnhild D shotgun, this one's got Subsistence and Demolitionist. We also have the Boudica C sidearm with Pugilist and Frenzy. And then we've got the Amid auto rifle with Triple Tap and Pugilist. The Ikelos shotgun right here has Feeding Frenzy and Vorpal Weapon. Then we've got the Nasreddin sword, and this one's got Flash Counter and Valiant Charge. Plus, there's a pretty cool grenade launcher right here, the Marsilian Sea, and this one's got Envious Assassin and Incandescent. And that perk pairing in itself is a pretty good one for this grenade launcher, so definitely worth looking at. But again, some of the weapons, and of course the roles, will change throughout the course of the week, so be sure to check in at Banshee over the next few days. But heading down to Ada 1 in the annex right here, we've got new armor and shaders for the week, so the featured armor set is the Tangled Web set from back in the Tangled Shore in Forsaken. Certainly no standout stats on the Titans at least, but be sure to check in on your various characters. And then for 10,000 Glimmer each, we've got the featured shaders. So initially there is the Vitrified Chronology right here, which is quite a nice blue shader. But on top of that, we have the Mercury Prophetic shader available as well. Plus, we've got the new Monarchy Regalia shader, if you're after any of the older faction shaders. So a couple of decent ones right there. Let us know if you plan to pick any up. But moving over to the Eververse store right here, of course, plenty of Guardian Games items. I did do a video breaking down the full Eververse schedule for Guardian Games today, so I'll link that down below if you want to perhaps avoid spending silver when you can grab stuff for Bright Dust at a later date. But for the featured Bright Dust stuff right here on the front page, we've got the Stand on Ceremony exotic emote. That one is 3,250 Bright Dust, so certainly pretty expensive, but a pretty cool emote nonetheless. Then for 400 Bright Dust, we have the Free Throw rare emote available, which is another pretty cool one. Plus there is the Cyber Class Entrance Transmat effect available this week as well for 450 Bright Dust. Then we've got the Up for Grabs Guardian Games shader, This one will cost 300 Bright Dust, very, very bright colours right there. But also for the front page, Byzantium Lotus is featured this week. Then on the main Bright Dust page, we've got the Represent exotic emote available this week as well. Again, that one is 3,250 Bright Dust. There's also the low score legendary emote for 700 Bright Dust, and then we get the hashtag sponsored shell, the exotic ghost shell for Guardian Games right there. That one is 2,850 Bright Dust, but also featured is the Shadowbox Exotic Sparrow, a new one for the event. This is 2,500 Bright Dust with a cool kind of trail on it right there as well. Then for 2,000 Bright Dust, we can get the exotic ship, the Stygian Corsair right there, pretty basic looking ship. And for 1,250 Bright Dust, Vex Mythoclast gets an ornament this week, which is the class of its own, of course a Guardian Games specific ornament. But on top of that, there is the gold medal projection available for 1,500 Bright Dust, and for the other featured shaders, we've got Verdant Chrome available right here. These are 300 Bright Dust as well. Then there is the Verdant Crown, so a couple of Revelry shaders, I believe, from the older event right there. But if you're after a white and black shader, Rivalry Black Sand is available in the store this week as well. Plus this week we also get the Reef Made shader featured in here too. But for the Transmat effects, initially we've got the Spring Fountain effects, there's also the Cherry Blossom entrance, and Only the Finest, and all of these will be 450 Bright Dust each. Another quick shout right here though for the weekend, when Trials returns, we will see bonus ranks all weekend long, so if you are looking to level up, it'll be a good time to jump in. Finally right here though, this week's featured Nightfall will be the Arms Dealer, and for the featured weapon, we'll get Malicious Birthright. Of course this is a lightweight frame grenade launcher, and looking at popular roles of the weapon, in the first trait slot it can get Slideways, but also Ambitious Assassin, Well-Rounded, Lead from Gold, Grave Robber, or Thresh. Then in the second trait slot we can get Autoloading Holster, Frenzy, One for All, Danger Zone, Swashbuckler, and Under Over. And we can see from the popular roles right there, Slideways and Autoloading Holster is a pretty popular role on the weapon. But obviously you could pair Slideways with Frenzy, and additionally in the first trade slot, Ambitious Assassin and Well-Rounded are decent bonuses. And again in that second slot, Autoloading Holster and Frenzy are the top bonuses, but even things like One for All are decent as well. So there are a few different options there, and let us know down below if you are still hunting down one of these grenade launchers. The very final mention though we have for today's video is for the featured Lost Sectors this week, and so for today we've got Perdition dropping exotic arms. And tomorrow, May 3rd, will be Bunker E15 dropping exotic chest pieces. Then we'll get the Conflux on May the 4th dropping exotic helmets. And that's followed by Thrillerdrome dropping exotic legs on May 5th. Then for the 6th of May, we'll get the Hydroponics Delta dropping exotic gauntlets. And that's followed by Gilded Precept dropping exotic chest pieces on May 7th. Then finally for May the 8th, we'll get Excavation Site, and that's dropping exotic helmets. And so there we go guys, that's everything we have to speak about in the video today. As always, I hope you've enjoyed this one, and if you have, a rating below really does help us out on the channel. Also be sure to get subscribed and I'll keep you posted with more Destiny content. But otherwise, have a good week with the Guardian Games, and I will catch you guys very soon.